Welcome back, YouTubers, to another Q&A with us, the British Fist.
Coaching.
This is Q&A number 239, and we have a fair few questions to get through in this Q&A. I am Mr. Park, and this guy sitting next to me is NJ,
What's up?
and we are the British Fist.
Catching again.
What's up, indeed? Oh yeah, we already did that, didn't we? Yes. Well, you got two kachings today. We just won't do one in the next Q&A.
Good idea.
I'll really save us a little bit. Also, NJ, I'm noticing a bit more facial hair than usual. What's going on?
I should be shaving, but my shave head broke.
I was going to say, you can't notice in the video, but here, wow. Major faceage there. You don't usually see that much on NJ's head, but anyway, NJ's face, I should say. Let's get straight onto these questions. Robert Hernandez, what is your car for this year's Mania?
Dear.
I mean, I suppose we can give a bit more accuracy in our predictions now. I mean, you'd imagine it would be Reigns versus Triple H, or maybe Reigns versus Cena. But now they've made it. Now they've made the Royal Rumble a WWE Championship Royal Rumble. It kind of makes me feel that they don't really need to build up a challenger for Reigns anymore, and it'll probably end up being Triple H.
There's so much speculation now. There's like Triple H, because that's the teased feud for a while. But then there's the question: what is John Cena going to do at Mania if
Maybe
he's not
Undertaker?
in the title? So there's so many thoughts. If I was doing this, I'd somehow get Reigns Triple H at Mania. I'd stick to that idea. Maybe Reigns wins this Rumble match, and then he goes on to WrestleMania to face Triple H. Then we'll have, I guess, John Cena takes. It's never happened, and it's going to be Taker's last WrestleMania, where it should be.
And what do you do with Brock Lesnar?
That's the big thing.
You can't. I mean, who else on the roster is good enough to face a Brock Lesnar?
People wish it, but I don't think they've got enough months to do it in Owens. But I don't think there's enough months to book that.
No. What about Bray Wyatt?
Bray Wyatt.
What big match do we give him at WrestleMania? I mean, he's had. Let's look
He's
at
going
it.
to have another 6-man tag.
He's had Undertaker. He's had Cena. I guess you could maybe give him Orton, even though Orton is a babyface. Is he a babyface right now?
He's injured right now. So.
Oh, he's injured right now. Oh, there we go then. So I mean, it's very difficult to say. I mean, even this close.
Here we go. He's announced on Instagram, Twitter, and on WWE that he will be attending WrestleMania.
Oh, The Rock. Yes.
The Rock.
Yeah, but will he be involved in a promo? Or...
I think he's done promo work enough now, so I think this is going to be a match.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know.
I
don't think he'll be involved in a match.
If it's a match, if we get someone light, that's why I think Bray Wyatt.
Like a Rusev or something. Bray Wyatt.
I think it might be Bray.
They're going to try and stack it up as much as possible.
I mean,
Jericho's just come back as well.
Yeah.
Well, maybe he could face someone.
They want to make
Rusev. I don't know.
They want to make Rock Triple H. They wanted to do that, but then that match has to be big, brutal, and fight because they're two big names. But someone like Bray Wyatt. Again, this WrestleMania is up in the air right now because they've got like the biggest match possible with the possible limited roster they've got, unless Cesaro, Seth Rollins, or to come back to help out.
It's very, very up in the air right now. So you can understand Robert Hernandez why it's very hard for us to answer that question realistically. I mean, we could come up with a dream card that we want, but let's try and be realistic here. Ebro S, if you were a WWE superstar, what would be your catchphrase besides ka-ching?
Damn.
No, is that it?
No.
That's Farouk.
I can't do what's up. That's
our truth.
Still
right?
our truth.
Yeah, exactly.
When he does appear on TV.
A difficult one to answer on the spot, if I'm honest.
I'm afraid. No.
I mean, to be honest, I think NJ's "What's Up" is a pretty good catchphrase, even though it is our truth essentially. But he's kind of a bit more popular with it than our truth right now, so I'd say it's NJ's. I don't know if I would even have a catchphrase. I don't even really know where I'd begin with a catchphrase. Like I said, it's very hard to answer this question on the spot. If I've been given time to think about it, I'd probably think of something. It'd probably be something like "For the British" or something like that. I don't know. Or "For the English." I don't know. Money Matt, do you guys think WWE doing promotion for different things like breast cancer, Be a Star, etc. have hurt Raw in general? I don't think they've hurt Raw in general because I think even without those segments in there, Raw would still be shit.
I don't see where the word hurt comes from with this because when they're doing something that's what raising money for charities is making them look good. They're doing stuff to help charities. They're doing stuff to help people
To
in
help their
need.
image, yes.
So to be honest, I really don't think it's a bad thing. Doing it on Raw, okay, fair enough. Video packages to show them doing it, fair enough.
It's usually just one segment, isn't it?
Yes.
And although, I mean, obviously you don't like sitting through these kind of things, at the end of the day, it's one segment out of about 12, 15 segments.
Doesn't maybe the show, you could say it hurts the show, but for a promotion, I think it's good that you're showing them helping other organisations.
The promotion is good. Don't get me wrong. I don't mind them promoting stuff like that to help their public image, and maybe they do have some kind of actual, awareness about these kind of things. But Raw's been shit anyway, so why would it help? Why would it hurt Raw? I don't understand. I don't get that. Matt Hennessy. Has the internet ruined wrestling? Oh, the amount! If I only had £1 for every time I heard this question, I'd have about £9. I don't necessarily think the internet has ruined wrestling. I think it's more a case of why hasn't wrestling moved forward with the time? I mean, you could say they have. I mean, they did get involved with Twitter too late. They did tout.
Instagram now.
They did tout, which was pointless. And they are doing the WWE Network, which is more catered towards the internet, and they're doing NXT, which is more catered towards the internet. So they are kind of getting there at the moment, but it's what in WWE really it was all about adjusting to the times, and that's something that they really struggled to do with in the mid to late 2000s, and they've only really just got it now.
The hurt, in my opinion, or the ruin part, it comes more from dirt sheets. I think all their Twitter, Instagram network, all that is great. I think it is the dirt sheets, people knowing what's coming before it happens. SmackDown obviously not being live and stuff. I think the internet has affected people's excitement for stuff because they know what's coming. We've said this in old Q&As that if there weren't dirt sheets, there may be a different approach. Like when there are surprises that have not been ruined by dirt sheets, there's been a better reaction to them.
And sometimes it's very difficult to avoid those kind of things. You follow even wrestlers on Twitter and Facebook, and you get shit like that.
Well, someone's releasing the dirt for people to be able to note it down. So it's getting not leaked from the WWE, but they're getting their information to be able to spoil stuff for us.
We could go on all day about this question, but we've got other questions to answer. Renegade Man 83. How can WWE be more watchable? Very simple. More intriguing characters, better storylines, and less than 3-hour Raws. I mean, it's quite simple, isn't it? I mean, it's just it all equates to better writing.
The biggest thing for me is forget a 3-hour Raw. I think that could work. I think it's the wrestlers we get and the storylines they're in need to be booked in a way that's not just focusing on what the WWE wants or feels going to go in the right direction.
And essentially, they need to be relatable storylines that people can relate to. That would definitely. It's like the Dolph Ziggler storyline they did with Rusev, and who could relate to that? That was so stupid. Would you watch GFW TV show? Nope, no investment in that at all. I mean, you'd probably watch it just because you think, oh, it's something new, but then it would end up just being the same old watered-down wrestling product that you see from pretty much everyone.
Well, it's funny. It's like you gave Lucha Underground a go.
Oh yeah, and I mean,
I think for promotions that are just coming out, you want to see at least give them a chance because that's obviously what they deserve. But then, depending on how they produce their show compared to what you've already been watching, depends if you continue to watch it. But the answer is yes.
How many episodes did I give Lucha Underground again? Is it 3? Yeah, I think on the 3rd episode I was just like, fuck this. This is just not for me.
But I would.
Of course you would. Do you think WWE should have Brock Lesnar versus Cesaro at Madison Square Garden over Big Show versus Brock Lesnar for the gazillionth time? This is a couple months ago now. I mean, yeah, it would have worked. I mean, they could have put Cesaro in that spot. I mean, he would have had to lose, but at least he would have been involved with Brock Lesnar. I mean, I think they would just put in Big Show versus Brock Lesnar because they're two known names and they've got natural history there, so they didn't really have to build on anything there. Whereas with Brock Lesnar and Cesaro, they would have had to build some kind of storyline, which for WWE seems pretty fucking hard. To write storylines.
It does,
especially when you have Paul Heyman involved.
I think when it comes to Big Show, the WWE are slowly getting the image that fans are not caring for Big Show. But to have Cesaro in that picture fresh match, fresh idea. Fans have been at least mentioning wanting to see that match. So yes, there's no story to those two, so they couldn't have Paul Heyman mentioning all the matches in the past they've had, but at least it'll be a fresh match and something that could have been more exciting to watch.
Well, I'm going to enjoy answering this question. Robert Hernandez, who from this list would you push the most to least? We have Cesaro, Dean Ambrose, Rusev, Bray Wyatt, Kevin Owens, Dolph Ziggler, and Ryback. Well, I'll tell you who I wouldn't push the least. Dolph Ziggler. He's been How many years has he been in the company now? Over 10 years. And it's got to the point now with Dolph Ziggler where even if they did do something, it wouldn't be as effective as if they push someone like a Rusev or a Kevin Owens who are relatively new to the roster and are relatively new to casual audiences, and you can build, you can change, you can really tip their character a lot, so you can appeal to those audiences.
I think Dolph Ziggler won't be believable anymore just because they've tried in the past and it's failed. I think maybe giving him a big muscle guy or manager with him may give him some hope, but right now, no. If I had to choose one out of all of those, it's going to be Kevin's because I think they've brought him in strong, keeping him on TV, but I still think they could do more with him. If not Kevin Owens, I think the fact is there was hope for him, they dropped him, Rusev.
Yeah, I mean, if I was going to go from least to most, I know this says most to least, but I want to start from least to most. I think Dolph would be the bottom. I think next would be Cesaro, simply because, again, he's been there for 4 years now, or something like that, and they just never ever got behind him, and I just don't have any, I don't have any belief that they would actually do anything with him. Ryback would be next, simply because he is something different. He is quite a big, muscly guy. You could do something different with a Ryback. You could, the undefeated streak they had him go on, like similar to Goldberg's, was at least something different for him. Again, he would be the kind of guy who I think WWE would get behind if they really put their effort behind him. Next is Dean Ambrose. Now, I see Dean Ambrose being a babyface, I really do. But I think he can also be a good heel. But the problem again with Dean Ambrose is that I think WWE can only go so far with him. I never ever see Dean Ambrose being like the top guy. Whereas guys like Kevin Owens and Rusev, I can actually see WWE actually attempting. But the push the most would be Bray Wyatt because he just has everything, in my opinion. I know he's not had the best of runs in the last 2 years or so, but you look at Bray Wyatt and you just think five star package.
Well, he's in my top 3, but again, the reason that I wouldn't put Bray is because I think up to this point now, every time he's faced a big name, they can't really give him obstacle anymore. They've had him face John Cena, they've had him against Undertaker. So right now, I think they booked Bray wrong for me to feel that they're going to give him a worthy push now.
So what you're saying is that they just sort of ran out of big opponents for him?
I think it's came to that because they've already had him against the best, which could have led to somewhere, could have kept him on a good track, but then they didn't. So I think Owens has only really done Cena. Rusev, I think he's done Cena, yes, but I still think there's more from them too.
Isn't it funny though? You look at these, like Dolph Ziggler feuded with Cena, went downhill. Ryback turned heel, feuded with Cena, went downhill. Kevin Owens feuded with Cena, lost, went downhill. Bray Wyatt feuded with Cena, kind of faded into obscurity.
Yep.
Rusev feuded with Cena, then went into obscurity. Dean Ambrose had a match and actually beat John Cena, and then 2 weeks later, John Cena was getting a title match anyway. The whole point of that was that Dean Ambrose would get the title match and John Cena wouldn't, and 2 weeks later, Cena got the fucking title match anyway.
And Cesaro, he's had some good matches with Cena, but he's
always lost.
Yeah.
That's really it. And you see a very common denominator there. Aaron Crace, what is your favourite Owen Hart matches? Oh, there's quite a few. WrestleMania 10.
Against Triple H for me.
Was that WrestleMania 14?
I think it was 14.
Owen Hart. Yeah. It was WrestleMania 14. That was a good match. Owen Hart, Bret Hart in the SummerSlam match in '95 in the cage. And also his match against Bret Hart at WrestleMania 10, the opening match. And to be honest, I didn't really see much else of Owen Hart. I wish I had, because I know he was a fantastic performer, as I'm told. But I didn't really see many of the guys' matches, unfortunately, but I know that there's two matches there that I would definitely consider favourites from, and the ones that I have actually watched. And we did watch the one at WrestleMania 14 against Triple H, and that was a pretty solid match in my opinion. How are you guys going to see the new Star Wars movie? Well, I'm not a Star Wars fan, so I will be nowhere near that movie.
To be honest, it's a movie I want to watch. The reason I jumped on watching it as soon as possible is because, just like Mr. Parkin, I'm not a huge Star Wars fan, but because I've seen the others, because I can relate to the story and people involved, I am going to watch it.
What happened to Terminator NJ? I mean,
WWE killed him.
The thing is, right, is WWE did kill him, but I just think that deep down, he's just moved on to bigger and better things.
He'll have to, because to be honest, it's like what we're doing. He's got a girlfriend, he's got work, he's got things going. I'm fading out, and Terminator NJ's already jumped before most of us.
To be honest, I think Terminator NJ was smart because he saw the downfall before it happened, and that's why he fucked off.
Most likely.
I mean, come on.
And the best was not yet to come.
No, after all that time. Swiftly move on from that somber note. Name 5 WCW and ECW pay-per-views you would like WWE to bring back. Well, I mean,
I don't really watch
Clash of Champions was a classic WCW pay-per-view. Starrcade was like the WrestleMania of WCW. I mean, I suppose they could make a B pay-per-view called Starrcade, maybe.
Network exclusive.
Network exclusive then. ECW, you had Barely Legal. Just remember. One Night Stand. there's quite a few.
One Night Stand.
One Night Stand. Well, 2005 and 6 were pretty good, and then they turned it into Extreme Rules. But there's a few. I mean, there are probably going to be a lot more that we haven't got through there. But I remember Clash of Champions, and they actually used that on NXT, and the Starrcade is one they definitely could use. I mean, I remember like Spring Stampede, Slamboree. I remember Uncensored. Spring Stampede and Uncensored 99 are two of my favourite WCW pay-per-views. I had them when I was a kid. Yeah, you can say that there wasn't a 4-star match on there or anything, but fuck you, I enjoyed it, alright? Goddamn. Name 5 WWE pay-per-views you will get rid of.
I'll make it easy.
Any gimmick pay-per-views.
That's it.
See, let's go through. You got Elimination Chamber,
gone.
TLC, Hell in a Cell, what other gimmicks did they have? I can't remember.
Hell in a Cell's gone.
Yeah. Can't really remember now, to be honest.
Money in the Bank.
Money in the Bank.
So I think there's
all the gimmicks.
Yes. So I'll say there's about 4 gimmicks we've named, if not 5. So go with those.
I've just skipped a few questions by accident. When do you think that Sheamus will cash in? Well, to be honest with you, even before he cashed in, I was always sort of thinking, well, I don't think they're going to want Sheamus as the champion going into WrestleMania, so they're going to have him cash in at some point soon before the Royal Rumble. That's how I felt about it. They were never going to have Sheamus go in as the main event, were they? Let's face it. So they kind of had to. We all knew he was going to cash it in at some point.
The way they did it, okay, I guess when it came to the point, people weren't caring much about Sheamus. We were expecting it to happen soon, but I don't think fans were really caring if he did or didn't.
Do you think that when Undertaker retires that he should be manager to Finn Balor? Nope.
Wow.
No. I don't think Undertaker would really fit as a manager. If you put Undertaker with Finn Balor, people will be more caring about Undertaker than Finn Balor. So, no.
I think when Taker retires, that should be it.
Should be it.
Retired.
Backstage.
Finn Balor's okay on his own, as we've seen in NXT, so I think no manager needed.
No, I think exactly the same. And we're going to end on this question. Money Mats, once again. What are your guys' top 5 WrestleMania theme music tracks? The one track I do remember from WrestleMania is WrestleMania 17, and that was My Way by Linkin Park. My Way on the Highway. I just remember that tune, and it's pretty much typified WrestleMania 17 for me. I'll never ever forget that tune.
Even though it may not be everyone's favourite, Written in the Stars.
Written in the Stars. Do you know what? I did actually quite enjoy that theme tune, actually. That was WrestleMania. That started at WrestleMania 27, didn't it?
Mm-hmm.
And didn't they use it at 28 as well?
I think it changed.
To Flow Rider or something, didn't it?
Flow.
I can't remember now. Other than that, I can't really remember many other WrestleMania theme music tracks, but 17 is the one that definitely stands out for me. Do you remember the old WrestleMania theme tune? oh, WrestleMania.
Oh, there we go. Now you've said it.
And there used to be Linda's theme tune. Do you remember?
Oh,
Linda McMahon's theme tune used to be the WrestleMania theme tune. I think they had that theme tune for the first 8 WrestleManias or something like
I
that.
can't remember the last year's.
I can't remember. Well, that's probably because I didn't watch it. But no, I can't remember last year's either. Probably some crappy mainstream music artists that loads of people have heard of that do shit auto-tune music.
Reverse the question because, to be honest, I bet there's some real obvious ones but are just not.
I'm pretty sure Limp Bizkit did another one. I can't remember. What is it called again? I can't remember now. But I know he did another one. It was like 2005 or so. I can't remember. I think it was WrestleMania 2021. I can't remember what it was called now. But if you guys have any favourites, please let us know in the comment section. And that has been it. If you want to ask us questions, please put them in the comment section below. And I'll pass you over to NJ.
That's been another Q&A from Mr. Parkin and me, NJ. Thank you very much for watching our really only current video on our channel. Until next time, YouTubers, thank you again for watching. Hopefully you've had a very happy start of the new year before we go any further, before we wrap up this video. But this leaves me to say goodbye.